Warm welcome to today's Onepoint Oneness session. I'm Nikki from Onepoint. Meditation practice helps the team at Onepoint to establish and maintain a peaceful, positive, and creative mind. During the pandemic, we started with this initiative to share what works for us with our clients, partners, friends, and anyone who's interested. In this series of fortnightly sessions, we invite experienced meditators from all across the world who share their thoughts and insights with us and then lead us into guided meditation. Today, I'm happy to welcome Linda Lee from the UK. Welcome, Linda.
Thank you.
Introducing Linda. Linda retired from working in the healthcare sector in 2004. Linda is a practitioner of Raj Yoga and runs many creative sessions online. She shares from her heart with a depth of wisdom gained from many practical experiences. Linda has studied meditation for over 40 years and is finding its strength extremely helpful in this challenging time. Today, Linda is going to share with us on the topic of living a balanced life. Over to you, Linda.
Thank you for a lovely introduction, and thank you for inviting me to share some thoughts on the topic of living a life of balance, or a balanced life. It's I was thinking very much about this morning in my morning meditation, and I was wondering whether in today's world people would think that a balanced life is boring. Because nowadays people like lots of stimulation and excitement, and they like all these kind of things. So maybe living a life of balance is boring. But I was thinking this morning, when I was younger, we used to have an advert on the television for a chocolate bar. And this chocolate bar, it was advertising that if you ate this chocolate bar, it would help you to work, rest, and play. And it gave you these three options of your day-to-day living: to work, to rest, and to play. And I was thinking how that little phrase has stayed with me really through the whole of my life: work, rest, and play. And if we divide our 24 hours up, in terms of these three words, rest is 8 hours, work is 8 hours, and play is 8 hours. So how many of us actually ever get to experience time in that way? 8 hours of rest or sleep. Maybe people do sleep 8 hours, maybe they sleep 10 hours. Sleep deprivation seems to be quite a challenge for people nowadays. So maybe they sleep a little longer than 8 hours. For work, I feel that 8 hours really for work is a minimum. People work a minimum of 8 hours. Lots of people work 10, 11, 12-hour day sometimes. So that's sort of out of balance. And play, I was thinking how much of my day is connected with play. And what do I do for playing? So I would say that for me as a Raj Yogi, and meditation is one of the aspects of Raj Yoga that I really do love. I would think that I play probably definitely less than an hour a day in play. So when I was looking at my own life, that balance is totally upside down. I work, I don't go to work in the world anymore because I've reached retirement age and I don't need to continue to work, but I work for the Brahma Kumaris, and I work every day. I do some admin or some programs, and so I work 7 days a week, and I sometimes work very long hours in a day, and sometimes I work less than maybe 8 hours a day. But definitely on the level of playing, that all the time that I have is used up. The playing time that I have is used up either in work or in rest, mostly in work. I'm sure that's what all of you would say, that that balance is no longer there. So this morning I was looking at that and thinking about what is the connection between those three aspects. And what I was watching and observing this morning in meditation was my mind. That in those three aspects, what is most important is the mind and what the mind is up to. So, as I shared just now, that sleep deprivation is something that people, I hear this a lot. People tell me that, I've had problems sleeping, I can't sleep, and then I lay awake all night, and then when it's time to get up, I start to fall asleep. It's like people's lifestyle is like that now, because actually we are out of balance. So when I'm looking at sleep, if my mind is peaceful, if my mind is calm, if my mind is relaxed, then sleep is great. And this is an aspect that I'm working on myself every day, or every evening before I go to bed. I have at least 5-10 minutes just downtime to reflect through my day, to see what's still in there that's not been accomplished or not finished, and I let go of it. I let go of it, whatever has happened. And we see nowadays, actually, lots of things happen in a day, lots of issues, and we hardly go through a day now without some issues. It's not as peaceful and easy as life used to be. So I let go of all of those things, and I find that when I do that, which I am doing now more and more, because I've come to that conclusion, that my quality of sleep is much better. So even if I wake up in the middle of the night, it doesn't take me long to go back to sleep again, because my mind is quite chilled. It's quite quiet and it's quite peaceful. So this is a very practical point. Now, if you can have a good sleep, a good rest, then that does impact the day that your following day, what happens during that day. I've also found that during my day, I am paying more attention to having a few moments, snatching a few moments, a few minutes. Sometimes I can snatch 5 minutes where I just go into that stage of meditation and just put a few full stops to the sentences that are outstanding in my mind, issues that are going on, stuff that's going on, work that I'm doing. I know, when I'm sure all of you're working with computers, that I go to do a job which I think would take half an hour, and then 3 hours later I'm still sitting in front of the computer, and I think, my goodness, where did those 3 hours go? So I am periodically putting a few moments to just step back. Nothing changes. The work is still there after a few moments, even 5 minutes, just to stop and put a few full stops. And full stops are things that I like to use. This is also one of the practices I use a lot. That full stop comes at the end of the sentence. It means it's finished. It means the sentence has ended and we can continue. If we have a question mark, it has a full stop at the bottom of it, but it's still open to more questions. If it's an exclamation mark, it's still can be continuing. A comma is exactly the same, but a full stop means stop. Just stop. And I have found that over time, and these practices are not instant, don't have instant results continuously. They do sometimes have an instant result, but not continuously. That I find that over a period of time of doing that, then my mind is much, much, much more peaceful in between those times that I have a snatch of those few moments to just reflect. and just be and be still. So in work, I found that by doing that, what I've observed within myself, I feel lighter, I feel more peaceful, I feel more joyous sometimes. I feel more enthusiastic, I feel happier, I feel more concentrated. So these moments of snatching these moments to just be still help me through those work periods. So then I can work longer. And as I said before, sometimes we get up. I get up very early in the morning, and my first meditation is very early in the morning. And I choose to do that. I like to do that because it's the time, the atmosphere is very peaceful. But it means, excuse me, it means that sometimes my day, if it doesn't finish till 10 to 10:30, that my day is very long and it just happens like that. And to keep going, this is very helpful to be able to snatch those moments to just watch what's happening to my mind. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. But to just see what's happening in my mind, because it's my mind that gets tired. My body does get tired as well, but if I can't rest my mind, then it does have an effect on my body. So this aspect of my mind, if my mind is relaxed through my sleep, and this is a continuous practice, it helps through my day. If on my day I can intersperse it with some quietness, this also, it doesn't mean that I am looking for shorter days, but I can deal with whatever happens. Sometimes there is a short day and there's not an awful lot of things to do. So then I use that for play. Then I go out and do what I consider playing. But it definitely helps to have these moments of reflection. So why I'm sharing that is because then I can intersperse some play within the work. So that even if I'm not getting my balance right of play, that I can put it in with my work and it helps me to switch and see and to approach it, to have the attitude towards work that it's actually play. And then whenever we get chance to play, we're all lighter. When we play, if you look at little children, you watch little children, they get so engrossed and they're just so light and happy and free. So these aspects, even when we get to adults, this is still something we appreciate. So I'm sure we have different ways that we express that play. But for me, if I intersperse these moments through my working period, then that adds up to my experience of play. And then when there is time, instead of wasting time and unnecessarily, like on my phone or whatever is the way people do things, then I like to go out. I like to be in fresh air. I'm very lucky I live by the seashore, so I can go for lovely walks along the seashore. And that is also really refreshing and uplifting and empowering. Or I like to go out into the countryside. I'm lucky where I live in the UK that I have access to both. One side is the ocean and the other side of where I live is green hills and forests and gardens and things like that. So that's how I spend my time playing. So, and that, then when it comes to play, I feel very free and light and refreshed. And so I can enjoy it 100% more than if I am going out to those places for a walk and my mind is still thinking about work and I'm still talking about work or I'm still talking about problems. So then the play becomes much more relaxed. And then if I can incorporate that, then it goes in a cycle. So then it aids in the helping of when it's time for rest, when it's time for sleep. And I definitely don't sleep for 8 hours. It is a lot less than that. Maybe 6 hours is my resting time. So it shows you then I've got, actually in the mornings I have 3 or 4 hours which I give for my spiritual upliftment. So for my meditation and for my spiritual studies, this is also helping to bring back balance. But I know that when I do get a working day where it's a lot longer than normal, then I can handle that now. I can I can go through that without feeling at the end of it drained, exhausted, tired. Yeah, I feel a little tired, but not to the extent that I used to feel. So you can see that over a period of time of just working within a life, within your life, this aspect of balance, it actually helps inside, that inside I'm balanced, and it comes back 100% to the mind. That if my mind is not racing, is not full of thoughts, is not connected all the time with the past or all the time with the future, it's actually connected with the present, then I find that, this is helping to sustain balance. So then it's not a boring aspect to be balanced. It's actually really energy saving, because when I do have free time, instead of wasting it because my mind is racing and I don't know what to do, and I'm trying to find something that will also stimulate me, that I can appreciate and just enjoy being. And I remember years ago when I was younger, and I used to go walking with my aunt, she was about 20 something years older than me, and I used to go with her for walks. And she used to say to me, you miss everything. You miss everything that's in nature because you don't ever stop talking, and you miss things. And now I really appreciate what she shared, because I didn't think I missed anything. I thought I could see everything. My eyes were open and I could see the sheep and the cows and whatever, and the birds. But I understand now what she was meaning, that when you're not present, then you miss the little gifts that life gives you. So I don't know if that actually comes with being physically older, or it comes with a sense of maturity and a sense of wisdom. But yes, definitely, I appreciate that. And something to see one of our beautiful birds here, just watch the bird on the branch and it's singing, just staying still, just to watch that and appreciate that. Then it's like, this is energy. It re-energizes me. So balance for me is a daily practice. It's a daily experience that one has to look at, and it does go in a cycle. It goes in a circle. So what I experienced yesterday, how my meditation was before I went to sleep, has an effect on the quality of sleep that I have. How I wake up in the morning is a result of my meditation before I went to sleep. That then enhances the meditation that I start my day with, and then that helps me to have clarity in my spiritual studies, and then that follows through in my day. And it brings about so much more stability and sweetness and lightness and gentleness and peace, which I can experience. And I know that if I'm experiencing it, then everyone that I come into connection with also can experience that. So if I feel good, really genuinely good, then that's what I share with others. That's what I spread out into the atmosphere. And atmospheres are very important. I mean, we know that when we are with lots of people, if somebody's in a bad mood, it changes the atmosphere, and then everybody can end up in a bad mood. So if I'm in a good mood, and I'm in a really solid good mood, a stable good mood, not a good mood just on the surface, but a really deep, genuine connection with what's happening inside, this kind of really stable, strong, good mood, then that is what is shared with everyone that I come into contact with. And now I do work with a team. We have a team here, and we have many people that come to the house for meditation and spiritual upliftment. And this also is very important for me to stay in that space as much as possible. I am a human being, and so sometimes it's not possible, but most of the time it is. So maybe we can stop for a little meditation, if that's okay. So we have this most divine picture on the screen, which automatically enhances stillness. So maybe you would like to try, if you don't meditate with your eyes open, maybe you might like to try to focus on the sun, or the point that's on the screen that's above the flowers. And it's very easy to use your imagination to see it as a sun. And when the sun is, for me, the sun is rising, but it also could be setting. But it's just above the horizon, and at that point it has the most power. And so you can look directly into the sun when it's at this point, whereas when it's high in the sky, it would damage your eyes. So focus on the sun, and if you like to close your eyes, which most people do, you can step inside into your mind and observe. First of all, observe what is the speed of your thoughts. Is your mind racing? Or can you feel your mind slowing down? Humanity has developed a habit of speed in everything that it does now. But for meditation, it's so important. For energy saving, it's so important to take a moment to be quiet, to be still, to be focused, to be present. And in this picture of the sun, there is also movement, subtle movement of the wind. It's moving the flowers that are underneath the sun very slowly and very gradually. And this is how our thoughts should be, that they're moving just with the natural nature of the mind. Those thoughts are still. Those thoughts are calm. Those thoughts are peaceful. And when I reach this stage of peace, that peace then changes from a word into a feeling. And that message of peace is going through my whole body, touching every cell and every organ, and giving permission to be quiet, to be still, to be natural. So this is like a breath of fresh air for the soul, for the spirit. It's refreshment, it's energizing, it's uplifting. And we only have to take moments in our day, sometimes to use words to take us into the feeling. And sometimes the feeling becomes so natural, words are not necessary. That feeling can emerge because the practice of slowing the mind down, of stilling those thoughts, has become easy. So let's just hold it for 1 or 2 few more moments. And then, if you have your eyes closed, you can open them. If your eyes are already open, then we can get on with the rest of our day, feeling light, feeling free, feeling quite joyous. And then that will help us through the rest of our working day. So thank you all for being with us, and Om Shanti.
Linda, for sharing your thoughts. And it was interesting when you shared that the balance is the inside out, where the mind is the one that helps keeping that balance. And I was just thinking the image of the balance is when we keep the weights on both sides. The quantity may not be the same in the sense like if we have iron on one side and wood on the other side, the volume can be different, but yeah, the balance has to be maintained. And similarly, when you said 8 hours of work and sleep and play, so even though the exact amount of time may not be the same, it's more about the quality. And when we meditate, we have something like jams, just a moment or just a minute, where we meditate hourly. And that 1 minute of meditation has the power or the impact it creates over the next 1 hour. And also, when you shared about having the reflection at the end of the day to make that full stop and see what I need to adjust, what adjustments I need to make for the next day. So it's really about understanding my priorities, setting the boundaries, and yeah, keeping the right balance to create the harmony and balance in life. So thank you for sharing with us today. It was lovely to have you with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
So the next session is going to be on the 1st of September, Friday, 9 a.m. UK time, and we'll have Dennis Lawrence with us from France. Thank you for joining us today. Keep calm and stay balanced.